In a world where power is bought and souls are sold, Alina Hart had no idea that her life was about to become someone else's property. She believed she was safe with the only family she had left, until they traded her to a man feared in boardrooms and whispered about in the dark. Damon Wolfe didn't need love. He ruled empires with silence and burned those who crossed him. To him, Alina was just another transaction, until she wasn't. This isn't your usual love story. It begins with betrayal. With silence. With a cage. But what if the girl who was sold became the one thing he couldn't control? What if the billionaire known for breaking everyone, finally broke himself? Read on if you're ready for a romance that's brutal, beautiful, and impossible to forget. Alina Hart never questioned the small life she lived. She worked afternoons at the local bookstore, wore second-hand sweaters, and spent her nights under the weak hum of the porch light with a tattered novel in hand. Her mother had died young, and her father was a name never spoken. All she had was her aunt and uncle, her mother's cousin and her silent, brooding husband, who had taken her in after the funeral. They weren't warm, but they were consistent. Cold dinners, polite nods, the occasional birthday gift wrapped in old newspaper. It wasn't love, but it was something. Then came the ride. It was supposed to be a family dinner in Nashville. Her aunt curled her hair, gave her a new dress, cheap but clean, and told her to smile. "Make a good impression," she said with a tight-lipped grin. The SUV waiting outside the hotel looked like it belonged to a different world. When the men in dark suits stepped out, Alina's skin prickled. They weren't here for dinner. "What's happening?" she whispered. Her uncle handed over a folder. "You're going with them." The words hit like ice. "What? Are you joking? Where? Why?" Neither adult met her eyes. The men took her by the arms. She fought, cried, begged, but no one listened. No one stopped them. She was sold that night. Driven across state lines like a product. Handed over like currency. All because her so-called family owed money to someone far more powerful than their paycheck could handle. They'd made a deal with Damon Wolfe. And Alina was the payment. Damon Wolfe wasn't a man people understood. He didn't attend charity galas. He didn't smile for cameras. His name was etched across towers, contracts, and settlements, but not hearts. To the outside world, he was a force. To insiders, he was a weapon. And to the girl delivered to his penthouse that rainy night, he was terrifying. Alina stood in the foyer, soaked in fear. The marble floor felt like ice under her bare feet. She stared at the man in the suit, tall, silent, unreadable. "You will stay here. You will follow my rules," Damon said without looking at her. "You don't belong to them anymore." He didn't explain further. He didn't need to. To Damon, emotions were liabilities. He didn't want companionship. He wanted silence, control, and obedience. Alina was part of a debt. That was all. But something about her unnerved him. She didn't scream like others had. She didn't try to flirt or manipulate. She stood still, eyes unblinking, face pale but proud. For days, she didn't speak unless spoken to. For weeks, she kept her distance. And for the first time in years, Damon found himself curious. Her presence filled rooms he never noticed. Her scent lingered. Her silence echoed louder than any voice ever had. He told himself it was annoyance. Inconvenience. But it wasn't. It was interest. And for Damon Wolfe, that was dangerous. The first time she smiled in the penthouse, it was because of a book. Damon had noticed her staring at the shelves in his private library. The next day, 3 novels appeared on her bed. She said nothing, but that night, she didn't cry herself to sleep. One stormy evening, a power outage swept the city. The elevator jammed. Alina got stuck between floors, screaming in the dark. Damon pried the doors open himself. She collapsed into him, trembling. He didn't push her away. After that, something shifted. Meals were left outside her door, then eventually, they were shared across the dining table. Quietly, always, but together. He ordered her favorite tea. Not because she asked, but because he noticed. The cage he'd put her in no longer felt like punishment. It felt like safety. She started playing music. Started humming. Started living. And Damon? He started falling. Not loudly. Not dramatically. But painfully. Completely. She found the file by accident. It had been slipped between a ledger and a blueprint, easy to miss unless you were looking for dust to clean. But the second she saw her name, her breath caught. The document laid everything bare. Her family hadn't just handed her over out of desperation. The deal was made 6 months before she was even told about the dinner. Negotiations. Payments. Contracts. And worst of all? Damon had known. He had agreed to every step. Had paid them. Had planned it. The man she had grown to trust, the man who made her laugh, who touched her hand like it mattered, had orchestrated her sale from the beginning. When she confronted him, his face turned to stone. But then it cracked. "I didn't expect you to mean anything," he said. "You were just part of a deal. I didn't expect to feel." She walked out that night. She didn't look back. He searched for weeks. His empire ran itself. His board screamed. His name hit headlines. He didn't care. All he saw was her absence. All he heard was her voice saying, "You don't get to choose love after buying it." But love didn't care how it started. He found her in a coastal town, waitressing at a diner with sand in her shoes and freedom in her eyes. She saw him and froze. "I know I don't deserve to be here," he said. "But I can't undo it. I can only tell you the truth, every day, until it means something again." She didn't fall into his arms. She didn't cry. But she didn't walk away either. They sat under the stars, two people who were broken, once by others, now by each other. And when she reached for his hand, it was enough. Love doesn't always begin in flowers and soft words. Sometimes, it begins in chains. In silence. In the wreckage of everything that shouldn't have happened. But that's what makes it real. Alina was sold to a man she should have feared. Damon bought a girl he thought he could own. But neither got what they expected. They got something harder. Something deeper. Something worth surviving for. Speech balloon. If this story made your heart race, your soul ache, or your hope rise, share it. Tag someone who still believes love can come from the most unexpected places. And remember, even when the world sells you short, love can still buy you freedom.